Man, this story is so compelling. I really wish I knew how to read. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Just checking out a copy of Tomy from Junji Ito's collection. Got it off of Books A Million, and you should do the same. Feel free to check out the link in our bio, the link in the description of this video. Feel free to go on hubtaku.com and check out the Books A Million link. Get you a discounted copy of this. Any other manga you're looking for under the sun, they got it. You want your Bleach, you want your Sailor Moon, you want your Chainsaw Man, you're going to be able to see that on the site at a discounted rate. And most importantly, it's a physical copy. Nothing beats the paperback, dude. Feel free to check it out. That's booksamillion.com. Check the link in our bio, get you a discounted rate, and always keep your head in the clouds. Hello. Howdy do, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of Air It Out. I am your host, Bonnie of Hubtaku, here to you to talk about things that are great in this space, and we are here to bring up content creators in this area, in this space, in this universe who are doing the damn thing. So I specifically sought this group out. We were at a house party at AWA. I seen you did them, and I recognized them from online, and I was like, you know what? Nah, man, I need to have them on the show. We need to talk and shoot the shit. I need to listen to their podcasts and things of that nature. So it only made sense that y'all were the first ones. And for the people who don't know, this is my first interview back from AWA. So the last one that came out this week, that shit was recorded like October. Welcome to December. But who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
T from those anime girls, one half.
And I am B from those anime girls, up half.
So first and foremost, when that whole thing first came up and I pretty much found out who y'all were, I saw the name T and B. I was like, this is the craziest coincidence ever. Out live on TV or whatever, but like how like both y'all got like the names matching each other and y'all both sync well, just based off how I seen y'all moving in the function.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely get more into our background and our relationship, but when you get to long-term friends, it's kind of like, you do your thing, but then you're also like, okay, where are you?
Yeah, you just kind of bounce it off one another. And she's like yin, it's like a yin and yang thing. You see B, you see T. It's literally that.
So we have the very first thing that I typically do for these is there is a segment I like to do called Air It Out. And it's funny because you actually talked about background. That's going to be the first question after this. But for starters, I want to do this little segment I like to do called Air It Out, where literally anything that's been on your mind today, anything you want to speak to, you can go out and about and say it right now. For example, I could be like, damn, I really thought that like work was kind of shitty and here's why. Or damn, I really kind of like what I saw on TV today and this is what I'm talking about. So I wanted to give y'all a fair space to talk about that. So who wants to go first and air it out?
Do you want to kick it out?
Okay, I will, since you asked first. So when everybody knows, well, if you don't, where have you been? But with Bleach coming back, 1,000-year Blood War arc, everybody's lit. I'm lit too. And B is trying to get caught up. She's not there quite yet, but she's trying to. But just for me, even I think when Bleach first came out, I wasn't watching it along with everybody because I watched it like in 2016. So I didn't really know a whole lot about like what people say about the characters, how they feel. But even from when I first watched, Renji was my favorite, still is my favorite. But don't even, I saw the look on your face.
Don't Renji get packed up like every other episode though?
See, it's just like, and that is why I'm airing it out. Because my thing is, if we're gonna be real on Bleach, basically everybody get packed up.
This is fair.
One or two more times than everybody else. But it's just like I saw like someone was asking a question where they were like, which Bleach characters don't you like more talking about personality, and someone was like, Renji because he loses. Like that don't got nothing to do with that. So what makes him my favorite is like who he is as a person. But even if he wasn't my favorite, I still would be like, okay, y'all need to chill. And also people try to make like people who like him, especially I feel like women, because we talk about, yes, he's fine, but that's not even the point. The point is he's a cool character. He's a good person, a good support. And plus, I'm not going to spoil anime onlys, but there's more to the story. So it's just like chill. I just feel like it's like low hanging fruit and it's easy, but it's just like
Low hanging.
that's why we got brains. We can talk about other things, see how, again, like I said, it's not just him. So yeah, because every time I see it, it's just like, can we think of, we have brains for a reason. We have thoughts, there's other thoughts we can come up with, let's
Like
be
be
creative
original.
once.
Yeah.
Like you said, I just feel like it's just like, it's easy.
My thing about Renji is the two lowest hanging fruit that I see on the timeline people talk about is A, the fact that he is able to he get his ass beat pretty much every fight ever, and B, this nigga hairline is jagged than a motherfucker. Like I see that shit every
But
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Kate for this.
But the thing is, like, look, yes, in real life, if I saw someone who had that hairline, they might have to be like the love of my life type. Like everything else is perfect. But again, because this isn't that.
That shit got my pussy dry.
Screaming. But the point is, he's still fine with the hairline. And every time it's like, oh, but that hairline though. But he still could give it. So it don't matter. Maybe not for y'all, but we are not like, honestly, this should show you. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. No, I'm just
no, it's not. Anyway,
I'll stop today.
My thing is like,
I'll play with my boy. That's it.
Between Renji and between Orihime, two people who get the most flack for every single thing that they do. They get exist and they like bitch ass nigga, like for no reason. That shit crazy to me. I don't know.
Does Orihime?
It's like Renji and what'd you say?
I was gonna say, does she have more of a prominent role as Bleach continues on? Because you know where I'm at. I'm only at like 150, 60-ish, and I told her a while ago, I was like, she getting on my nerves just a little bit right now, but it's because she had just went to Way Mundo, whatever, and all that stuff, and I'm like, I didn't know how to kind of take it. I was like, well, maybe there's progress, maybe there's a light at the end of that tunnel, but right now I'm not seeing it. So I'm hoping, something will move along, make something shake, as you say, T, so I can see something happen. But right now I'm like,
you might see some things shake.
Okay.
So you ain't get to, I'm not gonna spoil it for the anime onlys and stuff, but like T, she's not at the part where there's like mind control and just complete down badness yet, is she? If this is what I'm thinking about, there's like a very main character.
Yeah, I don't think you've
with
seen
an A.
it. I don't think you've seen that yet.
Okay.
Now that
I'm at the part where
like,
no,
that's when I was like, okay, girl, like stand up.
Stand up.
Got to, like,
I'm not there then.
No, she hasn't seen that because I think you would be more mad. But
yeah, we going
right. But eventually, I will say, there is some progress, but not soon.
Copy.
Okay, I got a while to go. Okay, ways to go.
B, what say you? What you airing it out on?
Let's see. I guess I'm going to air it on something that's kind of a broad topic, but T and I went to AWA, as did a lot of the people now, and I knew there was, I guess, controversy around Black cosplayers, but I didn't know it was to the extent to where people really lose sleep over this. Like, other people are really mad when you see someone that is Black or anyone that's a person of color, or if you just don't have skin as white as the sky or whatever. And they really get upset when you're cosplaying as someone, or if you do a different variation. Like if I did the curly hair for Yoruichi and it's not straight, if it's not exactly how they see it in the anime, no, you didn't cosplay them right. It's just all off wraps for them all of a sudden. And then I'm just like, are you guys really upset? It really kind of gets to me because I'm like, anime for me has always been a safe space. It's always been something that I loved, and I've never felt that, I had to look exactly like them. I don't want to. I want to be my own variation of what I love. I want to, from my perspective. Otherwise, I feel like I'm losing my identity as a Black woman, or in any aspect, or whatever people are going through. So I kind of want to touch on people just need to you need to let it go. Let anime stay a safe place for everyone. So I'm not with that. Not at all. Like, at all.
You ever notice how like a lot of that pushback always comes from people who are starting with a W ending in "ite," and you never really get that from like Asian people per se. The people where typically a lot of anime are based on, they just kind of be chilling. But like white people, for some example, who also aren't those people, like I see I saw a hella white Nami. First of all, it was a white Nami at AWA. She wore that same fit like 4 times, bro. And it's like, bro, one of those pieces is a bra, so that's telling me something's not getting washed. But
we already know about the smell. She might have been
yo. Listen,
don't even.
Nah, we're gonna talk about Funky Town in a second, but before that, I want to touch on your point, B. I hate that shit. I hate that they come and gatekeep something that's not even. That's how America, bro. You kind of
not even yours,
right? Like that shit blow minds. It's like, hey, let me be like, let Ichigo be my white king, and it's like Ichigo.
What? I've never heard that.
You're white king.
No. They never said that, but you know.
But that is
no.
That's how they act.
See, I could have lied and been like, "Yo, that shit was a tweet." And y'all would have believed it. That's how bad niggas is out there.
I wouldn't.
That shit is bogus. Sounds quite white. I hate every bit of that, though. I hate every bit of that. I hate that you have to have that experience when you go to cons and things of that nature. I hope that it wasn't that bad for you per se.
No, I was gonna say what was this? My second. This is really like my big first time cosplaying. Yet last year was some like last minute light stuff. It was fun, but this year was like when T and I actually, put in effort and wanted to do something. And I would say we both had a really great experience, positive like feedback and everything. So I would say our experience right now wasn't anything that was alluding to that, but I do have other people that I ran into at the con that were sharing their experiences because we went to Girlz. Shout out to you, Girlz. Her panel and she was talking about all that, and the room was jam packed. So love that. Everyone was sharing their experiences, and I understood it was there, but I didn't understand the magnitude of how high it was. And I was like, for this many people, and this isn't even everyone, to come forward about this shit and how it's bothering them, it's like we gotta do better. Well, not us. They need to do better.
Somebody got to do better.
Somebody at this point. So, I just love it. Like I love us just being creative and everything, and I just want to continue to see Black cosplayers because y'all, when I do my cosplays and I look for inspiration, I'll tell you when I was there and I dressed up as Meat Fury and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to find another Black Meat Fury so we can take a picture. That was my goal. I found them all the second day, but it's okay. But I was
didn't have it on.
I didn't get to get my twin Meat Fury, so maybe next time. But I love to see us in cosplays, and it's like I gravitate to where anyone that has their own originality and is just showcasing themselves it literally feeds my soul. And so I don't know, I just want to kind of hear that out.
Hey, speaking of cosplays and speaking of just kind of working in unity on that front, I believe it was y'all who had this one TikTok up, and it involved cosplay, and I believe it was Demon Slayer based. That shit was fucking hilarious. How you creeped in, you had the book, and then that shit was funny. That shit was funny. I was like, all right, we out here.
If you ever see any TikTok where we're both in it, she's the, like those Marc Jacobs shirts where the people joking, it's like shirt by Marc Jacobs, like everything says Marc Jacobs as it goes down. That's her. She's like, okay, this is the idea. We've practiced before. This is what you're doing. Because I do not know how to work it. So, yeah.
So the BB like, nah, that take ain't hit really the way that it did right now. Right. Go right back in the corner and come back in.
Right. Like, ooh, we was a little off. So let's run it back.
Hey, bro, she loves going along with my ideas. I was like, come on, girl. She's like, okay, girl, let's do it. I'm like, all right.
Nah, but that shit worked though. Like, it tells me, one, that y'all able to work well in that sense, and two, y'all got fucking good ideas, clearly. But yeah, that was one of the ones that it randomly stumbled upon, and I was like, yo, this shit is fucking hilarious. Hold up. Yeah, I wanted to make sure on air I gave y'all flowers for that front. That actually does lead to my next point too. The unison between the two of y'all, we actually started with that point, and I do want to know, how did B and T come together?
So we actually were talking a little bit about this on the phone, so I will let her, and this is a Hubtaku Bonnie heard it first because we haven't even talked about this story on our podcast. So I will let her say how, B&T started versus where we are now.
B did that look. I know it's cringe, and I love every bit of it. I'm gonna put my mic down.
It all started 16 years ago when T and I want don't even. I need to hear your opinion about how this all unfolds at the end, Vonnie, because there's background to this. So we went to the same school and everything. We went to a private school, and we would go on trips. We were in 5th grade, and we went on a Florida field trip down to Daytona. It's where SeaWorld is, wherever that is. We went to wherever SeaWorld was, and we were going to sleep with. They let us stay in the aquarium, and we were going to sleep with the beluga whales. So we all got our sleeping bags and everything. I know it was dope, right? Good times, but
would never happen now. But
oh no,
never ever. But we were going there and everything, and they take us in groups to go to the restroom and everything, get ready for bed. And I'm not gonna say I'm OCD, but like I'm very particular about how I line my stuff up when I go places, because I just don't want to forget stuff, and I can be forgetful very much. So I got these brand new shoes. My mama done got me, some brand new Skechers. They were neon green and blue and everything. Nice, right? Nice shoes. Lined them up right here by my little sleeping bag, my brat sleeping bag, mind you. So I looked.
Oh, you was doing it. You was doing it. You had the brat sleeping bag.
I sure did, and did. But I'm laying there, and I'm like, okay, let me go do my test. Time for me to go to the restroom. I'm looking. Where my shoes? Didn't see them anywhere. So I ended up taking, I think it was my shower shoes, like some chanclas, some flip-flops or something. So I go to the bathroom because I'm over here freaking out now. I was like, oh my gosh, someone stole my shoes, blah, blah, blah. I creep into the restroom. I saw, and lo and behold, my shoes sitting right there on someone's feet. But mind you, hold on. They didn't even have the decency to put their foot all the way in my shoe. They creased the back of it and took my stuff.
No!
Didn't say anything. Thank you!
No, you ugged the shoes?
T, say your piece. Because it hurts. When I read this up, it hurts.
What you on, bro? What you on, bro?
I have always told her that, yes, that was wrong. But there has to be a point. Let's think about Mary J. Blige. She has songs where she gets to a point where she moves on. It's been 16 years. I told her I was wrong. I told you I was wrong. And I told you I had to go to the bathroom, and I couldn't find my shoes. So I just saw the first ones I could find, and her shoes didn't fit. It wasn't like, I was like, oh, I hate you, so I'm going to step on the back of her shoes. But she thinks somehow, and I told her she was right. Cause think about how, yes, your feelings are mostly, it's a new shoe, all that, but that feeling when you get found out, because again, it wasn't purposely like I took your shoes, but it was like, I saw you, she like bent underneath it. I was
basically in there with you, like knock knock.
And then she got her get back the same day, which is what I told her, because then she had everybody comfort her and sleep by her where the beluga whales were, and I had to sleep by myself because she turned everybody against me.
Wait, so you make it. It's because I was crying. I was literally hysterically crying because I was distraught. So and then they all felt bad for me. So then they just came and slept with me over there. That's how. See, she made it seem like I was like,
I think
don't sleep with Tiana. She took my shoes. I was, okay. Jamie was sticking by me at that time, and Ariana.
There were names. She bringing names up.
Yo, she dropping govies, bro. That's how you know it's deeper than rap.
At that time,
talking about y'all.
You even talk to most people no more, and she about to bring their names up for the point of the story.
B talking about y'all friends whole time. She trying to throw the fair one, bro. At this point, she still want it.
I'm gonna let it go.
No, you're not.
No, maybe not.
You're not. And that's okay. You're not.
I'm telling you,
I'm gonna get to a point where I can be married.
That is the story that you're telling. When you get the mic as the maid of honor, you are still gonna tell that story. I know you, the Capricorn of you just can't help it.
The Capricorn, me, girl. You know what? I'm
she is
December 29th.
Oh, B gonna come through with a box of them sketches, open right up like, yeah, remember this motherfucker?
Don't tell her what I was gonna do, man.
Mm-hmm.
You will.
She gonna walk right down that aisle. Surprise, motherfucker.
So then, with that, it was still kind of beef after that. We didn't really talk, like, it wasn't like we were fighting or nothing. But what kind of brought us together, was at the
So
end of
this
the
is
year.
sad.
They always had like end of the school year party, and then we had like what was it? A 3-legged race,
We
and then we
did.
won it together. So then it was kind of like,
How do we even get
okay,
paired together? I don't remember that.
I don't know. Maybe
We
I
got
don't
paired
know. I really
together,
can't
or
tell
we
you.
chose. Yeah.
Or
Were you
maybe it was
wearing them?
random. I don't know.
Were you wearing them
and-
Skechers?
No,
It's
no,
an honest
they weren't
question. Were
there.
you wearing the Skechers? No.
No, I was wearing my black little. We had to be in uniform then, so I had them black. They were Adidas then. The black, all black Adidas khaki pants. I don't know what polo.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then in the next year, 6th grade, we became best friends. So yeah.
yeah,
You know,
it was 6th grade.
sometimes I don't know how it's gonna work when you're an adult. It's gonna be harder, but when you're kids, sometimes enemies can become one of your best friends. So there you go.
That's
Yo, that is probably the greatest story I've ever heard on this podcast, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you.
I'm glad. You know, you heard it first.
I mean, y'all made it work. You said 16 years together right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Bro.
and we've known each other longer than that. We've just been best friends for that time. We've known each other since we were
We
in.
went to the same school since like kindergarten. Well, from kindergarten to
Crazy.
7th grade.
I left.
I think-
I left in 7th.
Yeah.
Me and my roommate, funny enough, like I resonate with that because me and him, we became friends in 3rd grade, and I'm turning 30 soon, so like this was
Hey.
years or so ago, and now pretty much I go out this room right here after the podcast, I go see this nigga, and I'm like, hey, bro, who taking out the trash? Like it's kind of cool to have that dynamic between each other on that front. So seeing that between y'all, I see why it works and it makes sense so much for the both of y'all as a unit. What I'm interested in also knowing is though, like, how did that transition into a podcast?
Yeah, so
Let T
I'll
take
tell
over.
the story. So yeah, I was just thinking, you know, especially because B started watching anime way before I did, like, you know, from a younger age. And I had seen some things because my parents liked anime, so, you know, they would watch like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, or like Zatch Bell. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
Take it back. Yeah.
Yeah. But, so it was just kind of like, okay, they're watching it, so I'm there. But the first time I actually decided myself was, I want to say, like the summer after junior year in undergrad. So that was like 2015. So I really got into it. So then we would talk about it all the time, and we would, you know, kind of battle sometimes because a lot of times the characters we like are like the opposite. So
Yeah.
we thought that, and I was thinking like, oh, it'd be really cool to do a podcast. And I thought about this, I want to say, maybe it was like the first year of the pandemic, so maybe I brought it to her like that summer or something like that. And then, you know, we were just really busy because I had graduated from my master's recently, and she had started her new job recently. So then it just was like, okay, we're gonna do it, but we kind of like got locked. We're gonna do it, but we didn't get any further than that. So then like in 2021 we were like, okay, we talked about this, so let's actually like start planning. So doing like our research, seeing what we needed, seeing like, you know, how we wanted to do it, getting ideas. But yeah, so I just brought the idea to her, and she was down for it. And then I guess I'll say, when we were trying to come up with a name, we were trying to come up with something that spoke to our love of anime as well as like our love of like our Blackness. But we couldn't really come up with a name that meshed like both of those things together. So I was kind of thinking like, you know, where it's like, you know how we say it's like, it's your girls. So then I was like, it's us. We love anime. So I came up with like those anime girls, and she was like, yeah, I like it. So
I was like, your vibes. I like that one.
That's a fact. I like how y'all I was gonna say hype, not words that beat my ass right now. I just did a shift. I like how
You
y'all
are
abbreviated
fine.
it with TAG to make that shit make sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, like it's almost like a tag in, tag out situation. I've listened to some of one of the episodes of the podcast. The problem is I wanted to sit with it and really kind of take in a lot more of the episodes, but like the circuit that I did from AWA, after that 2 weeks or so later happened to go to Anime NYC, 2 weeks or so after that happened to go to Anime Frontier, just fucked everything up. So I'm just now getting recalibrated this week. the plan is to continue to delve into the podcast more and listen. But that whole tag aspect to me kind of really resonated a bit because I'm listening and it felt like the flow between the two of y'all bounced off each other one enough, almost like y'all was tagging and tagging out. Like, all right, I'll tag this topic right here. All right, tag in. Now T's coming in and she dropping some knowledge here on that front. Like, it was cool like that to me on that sense. So I just thought that was really interesting on that front. Now, I know y'all talk about a lot of anime on that sense. I forget which one was the most recent one when you were speaking.
Spy Family, the second part.
Yeah. So that actually begged the question for me particularly. Like, I know Spy Family is one of the things, even in your header, you mentioned that you're into a lot of stuff past just anime, like manga, webtoons, like things of that nature. Do you have, like, say, just a top 3 things that you have pretty much taken in recently, like top 3? It could be a mix of anime and webtoons, it could be anime manga webtoons, it could be whatever the case may be.
Okay, let me think.
Let's see. I know I'll say for me, one of them, I'm actually pull it up on my little iPad right here, but she got me into, I don't know if I can say the website's name, but she got me onto website's name where I can read mangas and everything. It's mangago.com and everything.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
And so I can read a whole bunch of anime, mangas and everything on there that I necessarily don't want to buy at the moment because my shelf is getting full. And I'm reading one now. It's called, don't hate me, y'all, but
it's totally, I be fucking shit up all the time.
But it's called Hikaime ni Ite mo Kurewa Ai. But of course, I will say on this one, they come out. I know if y'all know this feeling, but when it comes out, now I'm hooked. So it comes out like every other month kind of thing. And so I get through it and then leave you on a cliffhanger. And then this is me. Where's it at? So I'm kind of getting into that now. So I had to take a little step back because I did that with maybe like 3 of them I'm reading and I'm on cliffhangers. And I'm like, I can't handle this right now. I'm going to just go to the ones that are on my shelf and finish those up. So that's one of the things I'm kind of jumping into, trying to venture out to a little bit more. I have to think about the other 2 for a second.
Okay, I kind of came up with what I can say. So, like, I'll say for newer manga, one that maybe one of my favorite kind of, and it's already, I'll give like 2 of those. So 2 of the newer ones coming out that I feel like kind of like a lot of people are talking about, and they actually, I think, both got announced for a anime are Kaiju number 8.
Gang.
So good. And Undead Unluck.
Have not, what's funny? All right. So Undead Unluck, right? I read the first chapter of it and it looked fucking stupid to me. I'm gonna be honest.
No. Based on the first chapter, I understand that.
Like, I don't know, something about him, that guy, and then the leading lady in that front, their dynamic. I like the dynamic of like them, the lady not really fucking with the guy like that, but like they kind of need each other in a sense. And I'm like, I love that type of trope, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, what is this shit?
Right.
Now, apparently it gets better since you really
it does.
All right.
And one more thing I'll say though with webtoons is my absolute, like, my webtoon, like, when you really like one and you can like fast pass. So with this one, I literally cannot miss an episode. Like, I literally fast pass every single time. And my all-time favorite webtoon would be Lore Olympus.
So, ooh, yo, yes.
Fire. Like,
I'm so far back on that, but I need to catch up.
It's so good. Like, I think that, I got you on it because you were like, I don't know, but that's what she always does.
I will say,
it was, so she was in Spain for like a little trip. Like, she was teaching, I think, English as a second language. And she found like an anime convention, and I was telling her about. I was like, she was like, I don't really watch. I was telling her about Kuriko's Kuriko no Basket, and I was like, you need to see it. And she was like, I don't really like sports animes, so I'm not gonna. I guess I'll try it. And then the cup that she got me, she almost kept because she loved it so much. And it's like, okay, well, you should have got 2. If you were, no. I know what you like.
I would say a lot of the reason why I start things that may not like pique my interest at first will be because T is like, just try it out, just give it a chance, and it'll take it's a little push and pull with that, because I'm like, girl, I believe you, but look at it though. I will say I ended up loving Kuriko no Basket. It's the point we just said. when we made a video, like just a little clips about like the new anime coming in October or for fall and stuff, and Blue Lock was one of them, and it's a sports anime and it's soccer, and I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and dive straight in. I'm only on episode 3, but I will say I like it. It is so not what I expected it to be, because teamwork is not the basis of this anime whatsoever. It is like the complete opposite of Kuroko no Basket, but I'm not, like, I'm kind of liking the intensity of it, so I'm going to continue on with it, and I don't hate it, so, but I will say I did that because I was like, you know what, I know, maybe I can put Tia on one of these, because she put me on some, so, I don't know, I like it though.
You know what it is? Blue Lock in particular, I've been hesitant on actually starting. The only reason is because I'm gonna come out and admit it. I've said it before, and I'll admit it and say it again. Okay. Sometimes I have hipster tendencies. So something like a Blue Lock will pop up, and I'll see the timeline talking like, "Yo, this shit is gas. This shit is this. This shit is that." And that just feels the desire and spirit in my soul to come on his timeline and say, "Fuck Blue Lock." I don't know. Something about it just makes me want to let that rip. And I've been wanting to say that on the timeline for so long, just for the shits and giggles, but I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do it. Maybe I might actually watch it. B, I am going to also join you on that voyage and watch Blue Lock at some point. Just because.
You? Okay.
I will. I'll do it.
I'm gonna tweet you and be like, hey, are you ready?
Where we at?
Where we at? What we doing?
I'm gonna check it out, and if I like it, then yo, that's all on you. If I don't, then I'm gonna be like, yo, fam, B put me onto this. I just want you to know this show some dog shit.
Hello? I couldn't hear nothing you said. I'm sorry.
On a side note too, what was that one that you actually mentioned initially? I want to search that up because I think I want to actually read that. The very first one you mentioned, and it had the Japanese name.
Do you want me to text it, or I can just say it again, whichever one?
Whichever works for you.
Okay, I'll send you a message, but it was called Hikaime, Hikaeme, Ni, and I, Ite, Itte, Mo, then Kore, Kore, wa, I.
Got it. Have I read?
And it's pretty much, it's cute because I'll just give you the smallest background of it, but long story short, it's kind of like this girl, she they go to separate schools, anything. She may have a little thing for her teacher, but it's not actually said, and she's kind of very stoic with her emotions and everything. But then there's this guy that goes to like a delinquent school and everything, and she doesn't really know it initially and stuff, and she ends up helping him out, which I guess he never had that after getting beat up by some other people. And then he's kind of just like hooked or like drawn to her after that, and it kind of just unfolds from there, and it's really cute so far. And I'm like, oh, I kind of like this one. Like, come on now, what the next one? So
this is my cup. I searched it on the Googles, and this is my cup of tea. Like,
which one? This cover came up.
It actually panels came up. It's the one where so I'm seeing a picture right now where bro clearly comes behind her and says, "Shh." Oh. You can't really see it right there. He has a tendency to
sneak up on her, but that's what I told you. It had me a little hooked. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, look, okay.
Yo, you made a good point, and at some point, I do want to have a conversation about how like my favorite anime, my favorite manga are like the ones where it's like, okay, they're in high school or they're in college or something, and then you have the one lady who clearly they either have a disposition with each other or they just like each other on a low and don't realize it, and then you see the growth and progression of it. Something really about like this. Something about the dynamic when you add in a teacher or something in the fault, like, is very odd and strange from like when you think about it from an adult standpoint.
Right.
But fuck, do it make for good content?
It do. But it's just like, why are you even in this conversation?
For how the part got with those spoilers, it's not anything like risque or anything yet. It's just, kind of like, but peeping a little something. But I feel what you say on that one too, T, because some of the ones with them teachers, I'm just like, yo, aren't they in middle school though? With some of the things that may have came across my page, I'm like, okay, no,
can't do those.
That's called
I can't
exit page.
Those I'm not. I'm like, yeah, no.
I don't know, bro. Something about them be written very well, but when you step back and look at the actual art in itself and read it, you're like, yo, this is kind of disgusting. I really shouldn't. I'm kind of good on that.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck, whoever's writing this, can you write something where maybe like in the same age range, just a little bit, so I can actually enjoy this?
And I think, and honestly, when I forgot which episode we talked about that on. There's an episode where I know that you're just getting into it, but like one of the
it was the Spy Family episode.
Okay, I thought it was the most recent one where it's
Okay.
just like you don't even have to do that. Like you can just it's so easy to just make them closer in age. Like
give me a time skip, something, bro. Please.
Just anything. It's like you write it. No one can say, "Oh, you can't do that." Like you can do it.
Like you can do what the fuck you want. You
Right.
you made this shit. We walking in your footsteps. I just don't want your footsteps to be nasty.
Right.
That's all.
That's it.
That's all I'm asking. Oh, I'm trying to think. Like lately, me personally, I've been watching and reading just the 3 things that came off the top of my head. I'll say Romantic Killer, which is on Netflix.
I loved it.
Gas.
I finished it.
Gas. It's gas, right?
It is. And I wasn't expecting that from Netflix. I was like, okay, let's try it out. I was like hooked by my toenails. I said, okay, next. It was
by like episode 2, by that point, I was like, all right, I see I'm in for this. I probably killed that in maybe like 3 days or so, just watching it through and through. I was like, yo, bro, this is peak. This is peak slice of life right now. And also it's isekai-esque. I don't fuck with isekais, but you did it right here. This shit works.
It was right there, la creme de creme. I was like, okay, I'm feeling this one. And it kind of took me for a loop of how it all kind of played out, because I honestly didn't know what I was expecting to see, but it wasn't what I thought. I laughed so much, and I wasn't expecting to laugh as much, and I thoroughly enjoyed that, because I haven't had that in a minute with an anime where I've like laughed that hard. And I'm like, okay, I'm with it. And it's a storyline behind it. I was like, I can do this.
It's good, bro. I've been watching that. I watched that one. I'm currently watching More Than a Married Couple. More than a Married Couple,
You
but not
speaking, but Less Than Lovers. I literally just watched the latest episode last night.
I just watched it last night too.
More
that latest
Married
episode,
Couple, but not lovers.
No spoiler alert, but when they went to the beach and everything and all the shit, that made the main lead, all of them are pissing me off so much, because it's like, bro, just be the
Jiro, the guy.
Yeah. And I don't know. That's another thing. That's a trope that like bothers me so much, is when we get into a lot of these manga, these anime, these webtoons, where the lead character be a bitch ass nigga, and it's like, bro, you don't have to be that way, bro. Like, man, like, I don't want to say man up, that's disrespectful, but man the fuck up, dog. Like,
I need to be more assertive with certain things that he wants to say. So the thing that's getting me a little bit with this is the kind of like, does he like me? Does she like me? Or maybe I crossed up, but you know what I mean? Like, you're being too wishy-washy. Kind of be a little bit more like, just put a little prefix out there that's saying like, hey, I kind of like you, without saying, hey, I kind of like you if you're not at that stage yet. But kind of being like, oh my God, no. I'm like, give me a little bit more.
Yeah, they do that.
Bro, this nigga was like, this, bro. Niggas be sitting there and this reminiscent to the show, be like, hey, this girl just straddled me right now and she has my sweater on and is doing things that are pretty much lewd and leading into potential coitus. What is this feeling in my heart right now? What am I feeling? Why do I feel this way? I don't understand.
Oh my gosh, please. And then when they were in the nurses, can I say this stuff on here?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was like,
no, hey, bro. If you're not gonna spoil it, I'm about to spoil it. So T, I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't care about spoilers. I'll still watch something.
T is like amazing with that, because I'm like, no, don't tell me. And then she's like, I'll take them. But when they were in the nurse's office, I forgot her name, the one with the brown hair though. Shiro or Shir, whatever her name is. But he was with her, and they kissed, and she asked him to kiss her. They went through the whole motion, even though it was an accident, after she had just, made it very evident that she wanted to test it out. Who says, hey, I want to test kiss you just to find something out? I'm trying to find out from who? From what? If that's the case, I'm going to ask any damn body.
If that's the case, why the fuck didn't she just ask her husband? Well, her, the room husband thingy. Like, bro, she came up to you randomly like, hey, I just want to test this out and see this kissing thing and what it's like. And then, bro, all them scenes where y'all kind of come near each other, where it's almost like, oh, we're about to kiss, but then something happens. Y'all just kind of be like, oh, that means nothing. She's not. This is so not
coincidental. I was like, you're stressing me out, sir, with that. I said, I need you to do better right now. Just do better.
Yo, I just would. Those are the moments where I wish I was a character in the show. I could just throw hands, like, bro.
You see how his best friend, it's like all their friends know. Every last one of their close friends know what's going on. And it's like they try to, who is it? The girl with the brown hair, her best friend. She's trying to throw hints for her to get her girl on with Jiro. And then not Aki, the main character with the pink hair. I'm terrible with names. But
yeah, no, I know you're talking about though.
You know, the one with the pink hair. But her friends are they're playing the
Akari.
field with both. Akari, thank you. I was like, Aki something. But they're playing the field with both, trying to see, like, will it be blondie boy number 1 or will it be black hair number 2? Like, what's going on? They're just here for the entertainment. And then old boy with the green hair.
Can you think about how wild that is? Like, Shorty is like, hey, I'm clearly in love with this person right here with this blonde, voluptuous hair right here, and fully enamored with him. But now I'm rooming with this one guy right here, and I'm kind of really starting to catch feelings. Oh, wow, I love this person. This is weird. Like, I'm in trouble. I know I love this person, but I'm telling him, hey, kind of want to fuck this guy right here. So now, he's coaching you. He's, bro.
Yes!
He dressed you in a kimono for you to get some dick. Think about that shit.
He did.
What the
look,
cuck?
At the end of the day,
bro.
All I say, at the end of the day, she came back home to him, whether it was, on whatever time it was, but nothing. That's it. Okay.
Bro, he held her from behind, and they looked at the Starry Night like, and he started thinking like, eventually she's gonna go away to another person. Like, bro, you're a cuck. You're a cuck, nigga. That's what this is. I'm sorry. I hate to be the one that had to tell you this, but I'm sorry. I don't make the rules.
Yeah. I think most definitely have that kind of timing, which definitely can be, irritating. But I think something I like, one of my favorites, and that I've read, and I really can't wait till the more seasons come out. But because I've finished it, but seeing, when you read something, it's like, oh, I can't wait to see this animated. But Kaguya-sama, Love is War.
Love is War. Yes.
How it's like, okay, they know for sure, but it's like, I'm not gonna be first. I'm gonna make you be 1st.
Mm-hmm. That's not even pettiness.
Right. That's exactly what it is.
Nah, Kaguya-sama, Love is War. I'm backed up on, but I need to start getting back on and watching. You telling me I need to probably should be watching this later today. But I think that just ended too, right?
Yeah, the 3rd season just ended a bit ago. Because it's, especially with romances, it's like they do 12 or 13 at a time. So it's just it's here it goes by pretty quick. But
I think the manga ended too.
What'd you say? The manga did. It did just end.
Yeah. So that's definitely something I gotta look into on that front, bro. And it's cool. On a side note, I want to say having this conversation with y'all and being able to go in depth and do all of this stuff, makes me that much more excited to go back and listen to the Anime Girls podcast, because it's like, fam, the way y'all are passionate about this, the cohesiveness, the being able to just shoot the shit and it not sound forced, right? It's appreciated. It's cool. I love the fact. I love the way y'all carry yourselves. I love the way y'all carry yourselves on the podcast. From what I listen to, y'all are great right now on the sake of this this platform we have in this interview and stuff. So it's making me want to go actually back and listen to it a lot more too. That makes me think. It's like, what about anime and what about webtoons do you love so much that made you want to center focus on that? Why anime? Why webtoons? Why manga? Why?
I think I can. From my side, it's so simple, but growing up and stuff, I had hobbies, did maybe a few little sports and stuff, but the one thing so I don't know how everyone's anime journey started, but mine, I didn't know. I thought I was watching cartoons, and I didn't know that what I was watching was anime, because I specifically gravitated towards this type, and it was just that simple. Like how T stated, the ones that she grew up on were the ones I grew up on, and I would say, do y'all consider Powerpuff Girls the American version one anime? Because they have Powerpuff Girls Z, and then they have Powerpuff Girls what we grew up on. But I would say that's the first thing that I ever watched. I didn't consider it anime, and I still kind of I'm like, I don't know. But it kind of went from there, and it's just something that's always made me happy, I would consider it a hobby. And then it was kind of a no-brainer. It literally was like, well, if I'm not talking about anime and like my love for my Black culture and my love for everything else, then what am I talking about? I was like, I do love to eat, but I was like, I don't think y'all want me to talk about. I'm not into the whole like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yo,
I can't
be going crazy on that shit, boy.
I was like, that's not my thing. I'd rather get the recipes. T could cook it up for me, and I'll be the taste tester, man. But it was just a no-brainer. Anime was just, it is what it is, and I love it. So it was simple. Like, how about you, T?
Yeah, so I'll say like for me, especially when I really got into it for myself, which was like, so it was like a summer and all my roommates, I had a summer class, but they didn't. So I was just in an apartment by myself, and I was like, and I was like, Bree's talking about it all the time. And, you know, I had a couple other friends who were really into it. And I was like, okay, let me dip my toe in. And I want to say the first one I did was Naruto. And it was starting from when they were kids. And also, unfortunately at that time, I didn't know about, what was it? Filler. So I literally watched every single episode of both. But also, I'm like a master bender. So when I get to it, like, especially I only had like 1 or 2 classes and my friends weren't there, so it was like, what else am I gonna do? So I would say that's where it started for me. But then when we talk about, like you said, why choosing to talk about this, I think that we both have, like, even when we agree on things, we have, like, you know, different kind of ways we see things, which I also think like are different backgrounds, like even school wise, or what we do play a big role in that. And just speak more into that, when I was in undergrad, I was a psych and sociology major. So like,
nice.
Yeah, a big thing for me had always been, like, especially once I got into sociology, is toxic masculinity. So then one of the very first manga, speaking to you, Vonnie, I'm actually very similar, where it's just like, if someone, because my dad was like, oh, you need to watch My Hero, and I was like, do I?
You don't. You don't.
Oh, well, I actually like it, so chill on it. We can talk about it later. Don't even. Well, we have a vibe going. We have a vibe going. Please don't.
We're not gonna do this.
Okay, thank you.
These last couple chapters been.
I haven't heard those, but seen those. But we will talk. We can talk about that another time. But yeah, so I got it when I watched it. I like really got really into it. So when I watch something and then I really like it, then I start reading it, because like I said, I don't care about spoilers. And then so there was like a moment, I guess it's slight spoilers if you haven't seen it, but this is like way back to season 2. But that moment in the manga, it was before it was animated, like the fight between Todoroki and Midoriya, when it was worded differently in the manga. But he said, like, you know, you don't have to be a slave to your blood, and that like literally like have me like crying. Right.
That shit hit.
Right, and that speaks to some of like what I bring, because I haven't talked about this, but I'm a therapist. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yo, there's a lot I don't know about y'all, bro. Y'all cool as shit. How was we in the function just recently and I didn't like know and get all this information, bro? Like, y'all.
It was just because everybody was around. It was hot. You know how they go.
I was fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. But continue.
We were just little floating butterflies.
So then I love to see, like, you know, like examples of, like, you know, in anime where it like subverts that, where guys can have close relationships and can, like, you know, help each other with their trauma, and it's not like a, oh, you know, and I know like fans, especially about Midoriya, that was one of the other things I would air it out about. But when you hear our first episode, you're gonna already hear me air it out. But it's just like, I really love like that he's able to be himself, even with, like, you know, what he hears about like crying and all that. But this actually helps the emotional expression. Like, you are a person. It, you know, the same way that when we think about patriarchy, toxic masculinity, the way that, you know, affects men and then women also, we can internalize that, because that's what we're shown, that this is the only way a man or a boy can be. But to see like examples that are like, no, you know, that teaches people and shows people, wow, like me being emotional or me having emotional expressions that aren't supported by, you know, society doesn't change anything about me. So that type of thing I always draw to. And I love like a found family aspect too. So I can, because it's like my expertise, I can like go into it as well and like bring B back in for like, her parts as well. And, so yeah, I'll say like bringing that like aspect, and especially like being like a Black female therapist as well, so yeah, I'll say that's what,
that extra layer of like, being a Black lady that's a therapist in that sense, there's an extra layer of like, I don't want to say a hurdle per se to speak to your plight or anything, but like it's like there's always extra steps that they like. I shouldn't be having to take these steps, but like here I am, my Black ass taking these steps because society deemed me needing to do this. It sucks that that's the case, but it's beautiful that you have something like anime that's able to at least like make it less shitty to an extent. Right. Or along the way, when you're taking those steps, make it seem like, all right, well, I can use this as something to just push this forward, to make me feel like, all right, well, going through this shitty situation, or I'm fighting this injustice, but there's this cool TV show right now that's literally talking about the shit that I need to be conveying to my clients. So let me try to integrate this into the work, and let me integrate it into this podcast so that this works for the people listening too. Like, and I know you good, and I know for a fact you good at that therapy shit, because you just bringing it up right now, talking to me, made me think about like, you spoke to toxic masculinity, you spoke to just a lot of that aspect. It made me put myself back in that position when I was like really first getting into a lot of it, having to hide like just the type of anime I was into.
Right, exactly.
My favorite anime of all time is Sailor Moon. That's one.
Dang, I should have worn my Sailor Moon shirt.
I started to, but bro, laundry. I'm not even gonna hold you.
I literally looked at it and I was like, no, maybe we're gonna all like be Black and themed. I looked dead at
it. My thing is like, I don't know, it's there's that level of having to minimize yourself. Just
like you can't even be your full self, and I think just to speak to that real quick, something else too, like I think some of the things that, I talked with my clients about, things I talk about on the podcast, maybe for people who didn't even know that this was an option. So for example, like, a lot, we always are here, like, if you want to, when we're moving on from like, whether it's trauma or just being hurt by someone, oh, you have to forgive them, all that's not a necessary part of your healing. So me talking about that, there might be someone who really thought, because the people who harm us, or people who, it's just easier for them if we do that, they tell us that, but it's for them. So for someone who didn't know that, I was like, wait, it's not wrong, because that's what we're told that it is. So I also think, like you said, people who might not even have like access to therapy, or, where they can like hear about those things, or actually know that what they were feeling was never wrong, they were just invalidated, it's also like beautiful in its own way.
Damn. Like, that's very, honestly, I couldn't have said it any better than that, bro. Like, you hit the nail on the fucking head with that one, G. I don't know, it makes me wish that just down the line, maybe there is more anime, more spirit and focus towards the concept of, say, therapy, or the concept of, like, we have slice of life, we have things where people integrate and talk to each other, you see the relationship aspect of building and breaking, but like somebody dissecting deeper into that feels like that would be great, not only as a means of just great content, but as a great a fuel for therapists to be able to look and resonate with a lot more of the younger generation who need therapy, because you need something to relate to. So having that there that you can use is kind of the safety net, the beginning piece, like, oh, well, for example, in this show, this is going on, this is where it starts, this is what you're experiencing right now, and this is it explained. Like, I don't know, this is the same for me on my end. Like, I minored in philosophy, so a lot of those same things that you speak to, I had that same sentiment on my end, just I guess from a different standpoint.
Right.
I do think it's interesting though on your side, you that seems like something that could actually be utilized for those anime girls. That leads to my question of like, aside from the podcast, aside from the fire TikToks y'all got, are there any other like content plans y'all have, or like any other ideas you have that you might have been wanting to implement that you feel comfortable sharing?
Yeah, we actually, like I said, we were kind of watching, and B said from her 5th grade story, that she's very like, you know,
Very
like, okay, I want to
what?
get all our thoughts together. So I'll let her start, you know, with some of the things we're thinking about that we wanted to share.
Yeah, so I know for early 2023, because we are taking breaks just for the month of December right now because of the holidays and everything going on, and sometimes you just need to step back so we can bring you the best stuff. But when we do come back in early 2023, we want to come more to like video content, so putting stuff on YouTube and having little series on that. That's something that we're really looking forward to. I'm going to try to dibble and dabble in that. Also, mini merch. I think it'll be super cute. I'm a sticker fanatic. So of course, like I love when I get stickers from any anime merch I get, any like Etsy, you know, any of that stuff. It just literally, if you see the back of my computer, which you can't, covered in stickers. But so I would like to have that with.
Yes.
See, thank you.
That's really like her.
Love it. Like if you can see the back, it's literally all there. But yeah, love stickers. We would love to get maybe some shirt stuff, just something to showcase things that we love and things that represent us. I think would be really nice and fun. What else? And cons. Like our only con we've ever been to has been AWA, Anime Week in Atlanta. Atlanta born and raised, that's both of us. But I would love to say, just shout out to everyone that we did meet at AWA. You invited as well. You as well, because y'all have all convinced us. We literally bought our DreamCon tickets, and now we are going to DreamCon next year. And we were like,
we really
no,
were
we're not
like,
gonna
no,
go.
we're not going.
We were not going.
And then we're like,
now I was like, we met so many great people. Like, hell yeah, we coming. Let's go. So, I don't know. It's been such a great. We've met so many amazing people. Like so many people that I haven't run into one person that we've been talking to on Twitter, specifically T, because she is Twitter fingers baby. But like I haven't met one person that she be on it. I'm like, she's getting me on game because
I be seeing T tweets. I'm like, oh damn, look at T go. Okay, I see what you done did there.
But you guys just made such a great experience that now we want to go to more cons and actually do more cosplays and just be introduced to more things that other people have perspectives from. And yeah, so it's just been that's some of the little things that we want to kind of get on.
Yeah, and I'll say like one thing, you know, also podcast wise is like collabing with like more of our, you know, just other black anime pods in general, as well as like, you know, some people that we really gotten to know. Like, you know, for example, for me, there's two other really great black anime female led pods. One's called Otaka Queens and the other one is Anabe's Anime.
Yeah.
And
shout out.
Shout out to both of them. We love you guys.
One of them is I think Zarya is a part of one of them, right?
Yeah, Zarya. And just like really, because I think that was one of because you know how Twitter can be. So I was just like, no, we're not gonna make a Twitter. But then I was like, okay, you can't really get around doing that, you know, especially with promoting. So I was just like, I'll get into it. And then the weekend I started it happened to be the weekend of DreamCon. So then everybody was popping up. And then so it's just like, and then, you know, I think when you really see, just because my old Twitter I had since I was like 2009. So it was a mess. So this one was like such a great experience and like building community and relationships and all that's at first it was just supposed to be like a, you know, those anime girls Twitter, but then I made it mine / those anime girls. I can do both. But yeah, speaking with like B said, you know, just like building, you know, and collabing more. And then this I wouldn't say like coming up, but you know, something in the future I think I would be interested in, especially after I was on another great like anime space called Shogo High. They also do a podcast, and I was just talking like, you know, my perspective from as a therapist and like, you know, anime lover is kind of like maybe thinking about in the future doing maybe one of those a panel about that kind of thing, especially we were talking about, you know, the toxic masculinity. And like, you know, I think, you know, something I really liked about what Girlz did at AWA was, you know, having people come up and talk about their experience, you know, and being able to like them to be validated so that they don't feel like, oh, it's just me, or I'm alone, or I don't, you know, I'm different, you know. So I think like also, like you said, kind of like bringing characters who are kind of like the opposite of what we're told we have to be. So like, you know, the Midoriyas, the Tanjiros, the Hinata from Haikyuu, those type of characters.
Mhm.
Like, it's okay to be emotional. Like, this isn't a part of yourself that you have to shut off or, kill. Like, this is
Yeah.
something that you're supposed to let grow. That's actually, you're a person, that type of thing. So I think that would be really cool. And yeah, I'm also interested in more kind of related, when you're like a sociological type, it's just like it just keeps going and going. So there's, a lot of like different topics I could do, but that's just one of the ones I was just thinking that, would be easy. And there's like a lot of examples off the top of my head to do. So I think I would be interested in doing that, and that, it could actually have like a draw, and it's like, something different, especially because you don't usually see it from a Black perspective.
So that actually made me think, as I was like listening to y'all speak on that front, I have a content idea that I would like pitch to y'all. I'm not gonna say it on this recorded platform. We'll do it after the fact. But something that just popped up in my head. I'm like, yo, y'all would be really good at talking about this type of thing. Y'all do it on your podcast already, but like for the sake of maybe YouTube related things, that's something we'll have that conversation after.
Yeah, we will.
I'm excited.
But more importantly, it was like I want to stop for a second as we're nearing like the ending of the this episode. I want to stop. There's two things I want to do. The first thing I want to ask you is the question quickly of like, what is the ultimate goal of not only the anime girls? Like, you've given me a lot of what you want to do, but the ultimate goal, what you're shooting for, and I know that's ever changing. What's the ultimate goal of both the anime girls, and what's the ultimate goal of BNT?
I would say, and tell me if I'm wrong on this, T, but for Tag and us just being a part of that, those anime girls, I feel like we just want to expand and reach, because honestly, it started from us just talking amongst ourselves, because we were the only ones that could talk to anime. We were the only people that we could talk to about anime. We didn't have anyone else. So just being able to expand that and integrate other people's, like how you're having us here on Hub Taku, thank you so much. But being able to be in spaces like this where we can express ourselves and talk about it, get different perspectives, and then maybe other people that were in our situations that didn't think they could do a podcast or talk about it, or didn't feel like they had anyone that could relate to them, that looked like them, that cosplayed like them. We could just shed a little light on that so that they feel comfortable. And I'll just say, for my backstory, I was an anime like otaku for the longest. I did not come out liking anime to like really any of my, except for T and like our little friend group, until I was in college, where I actually felt comfortable wearing anime merch. Before then, I would have it and I wouldn't talk about it, because when I mentioned it to a small group of friends that I had, they were like, those anime nerds, like they scoffed at it and laughed, and it made me feel so uncomfortable that I never brought it up again. And I was just like, well, this is my little secret. I won't talk about it. I know it makes me happy, but when I found out there were other people out there like me when I got to college that enjoyed it, and I joined the anime club at college and everything, it just made me feel like, wow, like I'm not the only one, kind of thing, which I had never experienced before. And it made me feel like, I had some place that I actually felt comfortable to belong in. And then I started finding out Black people like anime. Like, it sounds crazy for me to say that, but we like anime.
Nah, it's shit crazy.
Like, the anime club that I joined at my college was all. It wasn't any of us there, which was fine, like, but I didn't have that connection. And then when I found us, it was like I could literally cry thinking about it. Like, where have you guys been? I've been waiting for you about 10 years.
Nigga, I've been struggling in this motherfucker this whole time, bro. Like, hello?
Yeah,
so I feel like just being able to reach people on that level, and then just expanding and having people listen, and then just growing from there. Honestly. So
I like it.
No, like you said, I definitely agree with that. And I think, like you said, and I think just as a person and, as a therapist, I really know like just how important community is. And, I think for me, outside of just doing it would be one of my best friends, for a big part of my life. I wanted to like find other people that I could build relationships. Like, when you get older. So like for me, it's like, okay, at school is where I made most of my friends. And then when I was in college, and then when I was in grad school, even though I will say I will say with that, it was, when it's like you're in a really hard situation because it was like a whole bunch of white people and they were racist, and it was it was a country, it was UGA. So I don't accept y'all.
Because she said, let me just drop names.
I smashed the promo though. I deserved it. I literally got gray hair from racial stress. I'm getting something. But
she said, yo, you ever been in a situation where it was really bad? It was kind of racist. I'm like, nigga, I just came from Texas.
Look.
Oh, well, there you go.
So and then two of the close friends I made from there, it was kind of like, although it was survival, obviously we still are super close. We would have always been close, but we needed each other to a different degree. So then after that, I was just like, oh dang. And then the pandemic literally happened.
Yeah.
Like 2 months before I graduated. So it was
fuck.
Yes, it was like that March, and I graduated in May. So
you graduated virtually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it was just like, so how am I gonna make friends? That's what I have, and that's it. But then through like building the community, like on Twitter, we found like, not only people that we related to in general, but with anime, and then meeting them in person. So we even kind of started to like, and then we found out so many more people than we thought live here. So it was just like, oh my God, y'all been here like with us?
Like nigga, in Atlanta at that too, like that shit is really bubbling out there as well. Now all of a sudden everybody's kind of coming into fruition and like coming in.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But I could imagine years ago, like we not that far removed from anime not being cool. Like let's make that clear.
Not really not. Like you said, it's definitely a newer thing. So like outside of the community thing, I guess where we want to go, I think just as far as we can take it, because honestly, I think something else too that I'm really, because like I said, I talked about psychology and sociology, and just like how a lot of what I've learned is like a part of like formed a lot of like how I see things, with how capitalism can be. I don't want this to become like like another job. Like obviously we're putting work into this. This is a passion, but then I don't want it to be something that we end up not enjoying. So I think like, with like breaks and like being very clear about like what our intentions are, that way it can still, it can, grow into something, even if it does grow into something that is like lucrative for us, that still is like our basis versus like, I need to reach these many people, or I need to get this, I need to, so it can still be like what we started it as.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, the one thing that comes above everything, I would say from my side, and I know T agrees with me, is our friendship. Mm-hmm. And you see it, I don't know if it's reality TV or whatever, but you see when you start to make stuff, you think of any group, any like Destiny's Child, any of those, when you bring friendships and you start to do stuff and business gets involved, money gets involved, not saying that wouldn't be great and everything, but things start to become more about, you lose the passion that you had when you first started it. And before that, whatever happened, if I feel like, and I know she would say the same, if I feel like, or she felt like we were ever getting to a point where we were kind of just not in the headspace of being as forefront with the anime and having that first versus like making a profit or something like that, then I would be like, or she'd be like, we're taking a step back. We need to like, not do kind of thing.
Like time to recalibrate, figure it out.
Yeah, because more than anything, I value our friendship, and I'm not willing to lose that over anything. So, of course, I don't see that happening with us because.
Now it's just like, when you're younger and you get in fights and like, I'm a Cancer and she's a Capricorn, so we're both stubborn. But like,
that's true.
Now,
wait, you a Cancer?
Yeah,
she's a Cancer.
Copy that. Also,
what is that?
Nah, I'm a Pisces. If that
okay.
So, like, so I know the emotions of you like dipping your foot into that shoe knowing it didn't fit and kind of just not wanting to get your shit like fucked up as you was walking across. I get it. I understand. And from a Capricorn standpoint, you like, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I'm ready to fight. I get that too.
On
site. But at the same time, like, I understand both sides of the fence. I get that. I feel you. I just want you to know that shoe part, that shit is getting clipped, and that's probably going to be the media shit getting posted on the timeline. Hate that for you, but I'm sorry. Here we are.
Oh my God.
But yeah, with that, where it's just like, even as we've grown in our friendship, where then we, we would be like stubborn, and then eventually we'll apologize. Now we like get in an argument, we're both crying because we're like, I love you so much. I'm so sorry.
Oh my god.
And then we're embarrassed because we cried. So it's like, I don't think anything could get in the way of our friendship. And especially like Rick said, like that's like the forefront of our partnership.
And then one thing I would say, as we've gotten older, we've articulated our thoughts. So of course Tiana deals with mental health and everything for her job. I would say she's definitely brought out a side of me to where I'm better at voicing how I deal with confrontation and articulating my thoughts and stuff, because I would say before I probably didn't handle things the best, but when I come to tea and I'm like, if I want to talk about something or it's not sitting right with me, I know how to articulate that thought, so whereas we can actually have a discussion versus it being like, girl, get your shit together. Like, I'm not okay with this, you know what I mean? It's not like that. It's like we're two grown adults. We act like grown adults kind of thing. And I appreciate having that platform with us. So.
And then we always try to, I think, one more thing to add to that is like, there was a situation where we were kind of like, with our intro and outro music, we were trying to decide who liked what. And then it was like, okay, so since I got to choose this one, you can choose the last one, or it was vice versa. So we try to make it even so that if nothing feels like one person feels completely slighted, it's like if we can split it down the middle somehow, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Compromise.
Yeah.
Compromise is key.
So I want to. Oh, I'm sorry, my microphone. All right, boom, there we go. So I want to take a second for this final piece right now. And I always like to do this in the episode at the very end. I like to give the people that I am interviewing their flowers. So there is a song out. I listened to this is back in, I want to say 2015 or so. This artist named Jessie Ware. She has this song called Wildest Moments. And it's literally, the song, it sounds like it's about two people in a relationship. And they sound like they go through a lot, not really rocky per se, but some fuck shit happens, but they still always come together. But when I went to her concert live, I listened, and she actually explained that this song is about her best friend. So like the lyrics literally say, you and I, blurred lines, we come together every time. Two wrongs, no rights, we lose ourselves at night. And from the outside, everyone must be wondering why we try. But baby, in our wildest moments, we could be the greatest. And as I'm sitting here listening to y'all two talk, the interaction, the way it bounces, the way y'all just kind of like resonate with each other. First and foremost, y'all don't even need my what's the word I'm looking for? Like me, on this sense, y'all don't need me to come in and tell y'all about yourselves and give y'all flowers. Y'all already got that. You already know y'all the shit on that front. I don't want you to feel like you need my validation. That's the word I was looking for.
Right.
I'm not doing this as a means of just giving the validation. I just want to be able to tell y'all so much how, in listening to y'all in this episode, it made me kind of realize and appreciate just the relationships I keep with a lot of people around myself. Like with, say, Tammy, the other co-founder of Hubtaku, the other people in the group and things of that nature. Just like maintaining that status quo and making sure that everything just goes according to plan while still keeping everything afloat. Like this last piece y'all just told me right now about, like, listen, if shit gets kind of sticky, we're going to take a step back and recalibrate ourselves and look before we go back and figure out what the next steps are. That tells me y'all two are ride or die in this shit going forward, and that's important.
Always.
It's impressive. Like, and most importantly, again, not needing my validation, bro. Like, y'all are well spoken and fucking awesome as shit just from having this conversation. Like just listening to the way y'all talk and break down certain things, and just listening to the way you kind of like tackle stuff from a certain viewpoint. Like B, for example, you telling me more about like your past and the things that you went through, and you like saying, hey, listen, I don't have to deal with this shit anymore. I minimize myself, but not anymore. I'm this person. Yeah, in college, I fucking put my flag down, and this is what I'm rocking with. And for you, T, on your side, like the way you're able to so concisely talk about just the psychiatrics, not the word, just like the psychological thing of a lot of things, like My Hero Academia, the way you broke that down, just this conversation, like this depth. And that's important. And that's what a lot of people don't have in this space. A lot of people just kind of very surface level, but I can tell with the both of y'all that there's depth to what you say. And that tells me that there's depth to the podcast that y'all have, that y'all push, that y'all promote, that y'all put yourselves into. And that's important to maintain longevity in these streets. So I'm excited to be having this conversation. And I'm excited down the line, months or so down the stretch, we have another conversation and we like, yo, so how's the podcast going? And you telling me like, just made a couple hundred extra followers or so. Like that shit is coming. It's beautiful to see. Like, thank you for gracing your presence and like even taking the time to have this conversation with me, because going into this now, like having this convo with you, I'm going out of this having such a better view and impression and just like experience of those anime girls. And that doesn't happen if we don't have this conversation. So thank you for that.
Right. Really, like literally you coming up to me, it was just like, because I've seen Hubtaku around and like seen a lot of like what y'all are doing, and like you said, talking about the team. Chris is our girl, so
shout out Chris. Yo, Chris be working, nigga. Chris be working, nigga. Chris Hive, Chris be working, nigga.
Not Chris Hive, literally. So yeah, so it's just like for you to come up to me, and like I said, I know you were having a good time, but like when you said like I'm going somewhere, but I'm coming right back. Sometimes, and it's not like I was like he ain't coming back, but you never know. Just in a party, someone could pull you aside, someone else, but you came back, and it was like, no, once I get back, we're gonna hook it up. So I think that and I know that there's no, if people fuck with you, they fuck with you, but it's just like. We just started in July, so it's just like to have like different people who want to collab or talk to us, like, and really like give us like that moment, I think that that's something that's really special and rare, especially because it's genuine. And like, you talk about like getting the feel for us, but I think that even though, this is part of like what you do, you have like a personality where it's like, dang, like I want to be his friend. Like,
yes.
You tell me we're not already friends now? What you mean?
No, we are, but I'm
it's like about kick it out. Come on now.
Like, you gotta ease into it. I'm just because it's just what I do. I'm just like, are we? Like, but it's just like
it's a little too late for that. We friends.
He
now,
said, right. We're stuck together.
So it's just like
So what's your Saturday looking like? No, I'm just...
right. No, but like you said, and it's just like finding more people like in the city and just like knowing like. People like you or people like us have always been here, but I guess when you think about there's a time for everything, or when things come to fruition, I guess that this is just like when things are ripe, and so yeah.
That's a testament to you. That's a testament of the both of y'all, and that's a testament of what's actually to come for both B, T, and Tag all in one, independent and together, and that shit is beautiful. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. This has been another episode of Air It Out. Fucking amazing. I'm pumped about this episode. I can't wait to release this and y'all see this. When y'all see this, please make sure y'all follow those anime girls. Make sure y'all subscribe to that podcast. Get them numbers up. Please make sure in 2023, when they get them stickers coming, y'all post them shits everywhere. Y'all buying them. Y'all get that t-shirt. Y'all get that crop top. Like all that other shit. All the merch. I want to see those anime girls worldwide. You dig? Like, and where can those people listening in who just now have stumbled upon their new favorite podcast, where can they find you at?
So on Twitter, they can find us at those anime girls with the Z, all together, no special characters. And I will say on that page is basically 100% B, but B also is getting into Twitter. Do you have your tag too, right?
Yeah, it's Bria, BRIASIMONE _ so Bria Simone _ so I'm getting up on my Twitter game. Shout out to T, because she always points me in the right direction with that. You can follow us on Instagram, which is Those Anime Girls with a Z. TikTok is _ Those Anime Girls with a Z _. Our email, ask those anime girls at gmail.com. And where our podcast is on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon. Music. Thank you. I could not think of the word. Amazon Music. So.
Listen. And then Buzzsprout as well. And
yes.
And then on the at those anime girls page on Twitter, I always have like a pin of the most recent episodes, and if you click on that, you can see all of them.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, make sure y'all motherfuckers tap into this shit, because I know I'm going to be. I actually just live in real time followed Bree on Twitter just now, so you know it's official. Y'all feel free to tap in with these people. Y'all feel free to make sure y'all subscribe and tune into their shit. But most importantly, the one thing I always want to leave with y'all before I go, make sure you continue to always make sure you keep your head in the clouds.
Got to.